was hoping we might get some geese flying back if I walked a little later in the day. But I don't know. It's very, very gray. Not all that cold. It's about 11 degrees. It was raining a little bit, but it seems to have stopped that. So this is just my normal walk along the creek. I'm just doing it at a different time of the day. Don't know. We'll probably see dogs, people walking dogs. Of course, I was all along here last night for the Halloween walk. Looked different then. I've still got a little fall here, but looks like winter may hit in earnest next week. There's several days showing snow and much colder temperatures. So we'll see if that happens, but I might be walking in the white. And once that starts seriously, it'll be white then until April, basically. Right now, it's still very fallish looking, and of course, this time of the evening, you see lights coming on and stuff, which is kind of cool. We just had our yard cleaned up today. Got all the dead leaves off. They looked good last night for Halloween, actually. What did I do today? Publishing stuff. I've signed a contract with another author for another book in the Reprise imprint. I'll announce that this week. And I worked on Changers, which is the YA novel I'm writing. Trying to keep it moving, even though I got so many other things to do. As we get into November here, I'm trying to gear up to a higher level of productivity than I had during October and September when we had a lot of travel and a lot of books coming out. I still have a book coming out fairly soon called The Crow Who Tampered with Time. It's pretty much all ready to go, although I have to finish the cover. That's really about the only thing left to do. It's been proofread and copy edited, and the author has made his corrections. So I think it's ready to go, although I need to check the file again. Anyway, either here nor there. That's coming up still before Christmas. Looks very late autumn now with most of the leaves down, but the ones that are there have all changed and lots of leaves lying around, and it's gray and gloomy. I actually like gray, gloomy days. I don't know why, but I do. They have more character than a bright, sunny day. Gray, gloomy days feels like something dramatic could happen. Or maybe it's just you could go in and sit by a fire and read a book or something. Although what you're likely going to do is go in and sit on the couch and watch TV. It's not quite as romantic sounding. The dike, get over to the bridge. Just going to follow what I think of as my default creek walk today. Tomorrow I have to walk over to college building, soundstage actually, for strategic planning sessions with Sask Books. I'm on the board. I'm the vice president, in fact. And we got those over the next 2 days. So both of the next 2 days might be a walk kind of in that direction. And back, 2 parts. Still a little snow hiding down there, despite being double digits above freezing in the shade. It clings because there was quite a bit of it, and I suspect out in the ditches where there were some massive drifts when I drove up to Saskatoon last week. I imagine that snow is still there. At least a lot of it is. So far it's quite deserted. I see more people in the morning. In fact, I've hardly seen anybody yet. I mean, there's cars going by, but I haven't seen anybody on the path yet. There's someone over there on the other side walking the same way I am. I won't catch them. And of course, is the footbridge coming up. It's a very low-hanging power line, I guess. Yeah, it takes power across the creek. A lot of the new neighborhoods, of course, have below ground power and stuff like that, but around here we still have an above ground infrastructure. Oh, there's our first dog. Even last night during the Halloween walk we encountered people walking dogs. I see more, a little bit of snow still clinging over there too. All right, well, we'll take our quick look up and down here to the east. And to the west. Getting fairly busy along there as we get closer to quitting time. Oh, there's our second dog. This one headed our way. Or maybe third, I'm not really counting. It's gloomier to my eyes than it is to the camera. Camera makes it look a bit brighter than it looks to me. It's just because it's good at adjusting for available light, I guess. See, snow is not completely gone, even though it's been 11 for several days in a row now because of the angle of the sun. And there's the creek in all its glory. That's a hymn. Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin, and yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. And then there's a song. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. I remember it because it was kind of fun to sing in church. Of course, I grew up in the Church of Christ, which is a cappella congregational singing, so it's a great way to learn choral music, or choral singing actually, if you have the ear for it. Especially if you start as I did as a boy soprano and work your way down through the voices. I sang soprano, I sang alto, I sang tenor, I sang and sing now bass. Actually, just over here is where Wascana Voices, the choir I'm now singing with, we had our picture taken. There's snow down in there too, as I expected there would be. They just kind of posted the picture today on the Facebook page for Wascana Voices, so I was sharing that earlier. A cappella means, of course, in the style of the church, because originally there were no instruments in churches, which is why we didn't have them in the Church of Christ, since the goal was to recreate or restore Christianity as it was in the first century. The way it was meant to be. It's still kind of red along here. It's called the Restoration Movement for that reason. Early 19th century in the United States. It's kind of when it was coming along and the Church of Christ movement began. Restoration movement. now that song's stuck in my head. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, 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 neither do they spin. Might be wet down there. Yeah, I think I'll stay up here. And yet I say unto you, and yet I say unto you, that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like these, like one of these. Something like that. I was singing parts I don't normally sing. Don't really sing the melody. So I have walked over there, but it might be a little muddy, so I thought I'd stay on the concrete today, or the asphalt, or the me. So I don't know if we'll hear any geese coming over or not. I might be a little early for them. I don't know how they time it. But as it gets close to sunset, they usually will come over heading back to the lake. But we haven't heard as many this year. Like last year, there were just flock after flock after flock. And this year, haven't heard that much. So I don't know if they're hanging out at a different lake this year, the bulk of the flocks, or what. It always seems very secluded over there on the other side of these bushes when they have leaves on them, but now it's quite open. Whoop. Almost fell off the path there because I wasn't looking where I was going. Just twisted my ankle. Somebody on wheeled devices coming up behind me. Mono-wheeled skateboards. I don't know what you call those. That's what they were. That's what I'd call them. Maybe they're motorized. They went by awfully fast. I think they must be motorized. Hoverboards. I guess those are hoverboards. Or, you know, the actual physically possible version of them that were created a few years ago. Since we don't actually have anti-gravity, can't make real hoverboards. Well, they sure went away in a hurry. They're fast. Yeah, that's got to be what they were. Motorized skateboards, in other words. Okay. Let us cross Elphinstone Street, which is fairly busy, so we will definitely need the crosswalk button here. As we go into Les Sherman Park. Very autumnal, late autumnal now. Early autumn you have all the leaves. Late autumn the leaves are on the ground and the trees are getting barren. And it's getting darker and colder all the time. Well, not so much colder the last few days, but that's a-coming. In fact, I saw one day next week when it's a high of minus 11 and a low of minus 18, so, which is 0 Fahrenheit. So, yeah, we got some More considerable cold coming soon. Coming soon to a prairie near you. So far, nobody has said hello on this walk. So as far as I know, I'm talking to myself, but that don't bother me none. I did forget to turn off the Wi-Fi as I left, which usually means some buffering, but it doesn't usually kill the feed. So I hope I'm currently live. If you're there, say hi, just so I know I'm not all alone. Alone in the universe. Or at least alone on the bike path. It's not quite as grand. I do seem to be alone in the feed at the moment. Guess I could quit talking, but later people will watch the recording, so for them it will be new. Just not live. As I said, it is an odd time for me to be walking, so in the mornings, I'm more likely to get people in India, places like that. But here, right now, what is it there? Tomorrow morning already? Very early morning, probably. Australia, New Zealand are basically 12 hours. Plus it's over the international date line, so or is it 24 hours? No, it can't be 24 hours. Looking east. Looking west. How does that work? Actually, that's not quite right. It's like it's close to the time it is here, but it's tomorrow. 18 hours difference, maybe? That doesn't sound right either. I should know, but I don't at the moment. I think it's 12. It'd have to be 12. 24 hours takes you all the way around the world. They're pretty much exactly on the opposite side of the world, so 12 hours difference. So 5 o'clock here, 5 o'clock there. Here it's 5 p.m. and there it's 5 a.m. tomorrow. I should quit talking because I clearly cannot remember. Even though I looked it up not that long ago for something, but oh, hey, I now have little ones beside Facebook and YouTube. I'm no longer alone in the universe. Which is a song from Seussical, actually. That's the tune. I won't try to sing it because I don't remember the words. Seen that show 3 times, I think, but never been in it. My daughter was in it twice. And Lyric did it once, but I wasn't in it. I don't know why. Busy doing something else that year, I guess. I did every show going for years and years, and then they gradually fewer as I, especially with my daughter coming along and out of that. And then, of course, there haven't been big stage shows for a little while. Last one they did was Little Women, and I did audition, but they basically cast the people who had been cast just before COVID hit and closed it down, which is fair. And I auditioned for Globe and Persephone this year, and did have a call to audition for a play called The Birds and the Bees, but I didn't get the part. I wasn't able to attend the in-person audition. I don't know if that would have made a difference or not. Oh, and my ones have gone to zeros again, so whoever was watching... Oh, there's some geese. Not a very big flock, but a few. We might see more as we continue. Still got a ways to go. Not even halfway yet. Actually, there's a bit of clear sky in the west, so looks like this cloud might break up as the evening goes along. It would be. I've got this windbreaker on and I'm getting a little warm in it. I'd have to unzip it. I could unzip it. I think I can unzip it without affecting the microphone. Yeah. There we go. A little more breathing. Ventilation. I'm not going to go under the bridge today. I'm going to stay on this side, which will make this about a 45-minute walk, I think. Last night's was much longer than I thought it was going to be. Went over an hour. And the pizza we had waiting was very welcome when I got home. I find I get sore from carrying the gimbal, which is annoying. Another dog. A little bit more snow clinging there. As we come back to the side of the creek, but only briefly, and then we'll be heading more away from the creek. Yeah, little snow. So far, just that one little V of geese is all I've seen. Last year I saw enormous flocks of them walking about this time. I may sneeze in a moment. I apologize in advance. The dog had to check out the place you can get right down to the water there. In the winter, I walk onto the ice there sometimes. Okay, not going under the bridge. We will take the path up this way. There's the Pasco Street Bridge. And this is Pasco Street. See, there's a hint of clearing in the west there. It should be coming this way. All right, we'll go along here for a bit. and then back down that side of the park. Apartment buildings over there, and Sask Express, which is a performing arts school here. This end down here that used to be a gym is a nice little theater now. No fly space, obviously, but has a stage and, you know, lights and stuff. Oh, I'm getting drizzled on. Spat at, more like. Wouldn't call it a drizzle. Sask Express. You can look them up online if you're curious. Probably saskexpress.ca would be my guess. All right, and we'll go down this way. So we've turned the corner now. We're heading home from this point. I am getting spat at a little bit more with each step, but I don't see it amounting to much. Yeah, I'm getting spat at. Nothing significant. This is 15th. We're walking along, in case you're wondering, but you probably aren't. Now, if we took this path, we'd rejoin the path we were on and be retracing our steps. But I'll stay on the straight and narrow here. Or not so narrow, but straight anyway. Although, of course, straight in that verse does not refer to straight as in S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T, but straight as in S-T-R-A-I-T, difficult, just so you know. Straight is the path, and narrow is the way. Difficult is the path, and narrow is the way that leads to salvation, and those who find it are few. The broad, straight path, S-T-R-A-I-G-H-T, is the one that leads to damnation or destruction. Don't follow it. I don't think this particular path will lead me to either damnation or salvation, unless I get run over by a car, which will only happen if I accidentally step in front of traffic, so I'll avoid that. I'd like more viewership for my my videos, but not the way I want to get it. Did you see that video about the guy that got run over while live streaming? Yeah. Pick up a lot of views. Wouldn't do me any good. I'm at 580 subscribers. I need 420 more subscribers, and I can start making money doing this. And that, you know, seems impossible, but I've done more than that since I started a year and a half ago, so who knows? This time next year, I might make it. And suddenly, This will be monetized. Certainly the viewing hours are enough of. It's just the number of subscribers. So tell your friends, subscribe to Walking in Regina. Boost my total. Even if they don't watch, have them subscribe. I should say that more often, like at the end of every walk, or at the beginning of every walk, or both. And I should probably put a screen that says that too. I never have gotten around to it. Not really doing it to make money, but anything that makes money is welcome when you're a freelancer, that's for sure. Oh, look, somebody said hello. Jonathan, hello. Yeah, the cars go by quite close here to the curb, so I try to stay over to the right, for sure. For sure. Soccer field. Hello. I'm getting drizzled on a bit more with each step, but I hope it doesn't get any worse than this. I now direct your attention to the right, where the Neil Balkwell Civic Arts Center and Art Gallery of Regina are located, as well as the Regina Senior Center. Let's take a walk in that direction, shall we? I suppose I could look for sponsors for the walk, you know. I've thought maybe I could farm myself out to real estate companies. I'll walk in your neighborhood for a modest fee. Trouble is, I've walked in a lot of neighborhoods for free, so they could just call those up. So maybe that's not practical. But there's certainly places I haven't walked. There are some places I would only walk if you paid me quite a bit and maybe provided police protection. So, depending on the time of day, especially. Take a walk at 4 a.m. in North Central. No, I don't believe I will. Thank you. Okie dokie. That matter, I would a little nervous about walking anywhere alone in the dark. It feels unsettling, even if it's perfectly safe. It feels unsettling because, you know, you can't see. Don't know if there's somebody in the bushes or in the shadows. And even though I'm 6'2" and 210 pounds, I don't look that intimidating, so I don't think that's enough. Would be enough to necessarily stop somebody from stealing my gimbal, man. Steal my gimbal and my phone, maybe my microphone too, and my reading glasses, man. They took my reading glasses. Because there's also the keys in the wallet, which would be a bigger concern. No, take my reading glasses, just leave me my wallet is not going to probably carry much weight in a mugging. On the other hand, if I'm carrying this thing, whatever you do is on camera, live streamed and immediately archived to YouTube, so that ought to be some kind of deterrent. Hi. Jogger. Well, my idea we might see more geese tonight as a bust. We saw one little V, and that was it. I think I'll go along the dike a little bit at least to get more of the creek here. There's the Neil Balkwell Center and Art Gallery of Regina. Of Ontario, I started to say. No, that's a much bigger place. Their gift shop is bigger in the Art Gallery of Regina that's in that building. And our biggest gallery is the Mackenzie Art Gallery, but even it It's tiny compared to the AGO. This is the senior center. Here's the crosswalk. There is no light here though, so I gotta make sure I'm seen. And the people coming are inclined to obey the traffic laws. We'll go down here and go along the dike a bit, I think. Back along the creek some more. What time is it? I promised to be home by 5:45, so that's 25 minutes, so make that without any trouble. And I'm down to nobody watching me again. At least somebody said hello. I have seen the numbers occasionally tweak up one or two, so I have not been entirely alone on this walk, just mostly alone. Clearing's not coming very fast, but I think it's grown a little bit over there in the rest. Won't reach us by the time I get home though. Yeah, let's take this shortcut. I never do this. Stone Bridge. The creek again. I'm not staying on it very long. I think I will take this path here today. This little piece of a path here. I would want to come along here on a bicycle. This tree has something to say about that. Where we leave the park. Oh, this is way muddy. Why is it so muddy? That just from snow melting here? I wouldn't have come that way if I'd known it was that muddy. I don't know if I want to walk along there or not. Maybe I'll go along the alley here instead. Pick up the next path through. This doesn't look nearly that muddy. Well, I guess it is, but I can at least walk on the leaves here. Oof! There's a hole I didn't see. Yeah, this is quite wet too. I guess it's just from the snow that's... Well, it did rain. It rained quite a bit yesterday, actually, now that I think about it. Just before trick-or-treating, it was raining quite steadily, so that would explain it more than the melting snow. Playground there. And there's an alley up here, which may not be any drier than the one I just avoided back there, come to think of it. But let's see. Maybe not too bad. Especially if I stick close to the fence here. I've been in that house on a Davin homeschool tour. Now, I walked along here last night, coming up from there, going up to College Avenue. Okay, now what we want is the alley, which is where? Is that the alley? Yes. It's not just a drive, it's an alley. Alley oop oop. So we go through here, we're on a Angus Crescent, and then it's just a short jaunt home. I wish I was homeward bound. Also, this is a paved alley, so that helps on the mud front. And this is Angus Crescent, upon which I live, not where upon which. Upon which there were witches last night. Thanks to Halloween. Street lights have come on. See, it's darker than it looks on the camera. So we go up to the corner of Italic and Angus Crescent, and that's where we will stop. Oof, oof. Something very autumnal about that house. This one did not used to be blue, it was brown, because I've been in that house. And this is a very cool house. It's hard to tell from out here, but it's quite big, and it was an architect's design, so it has this low front, but as you can see it goes quite high, and it's mostly open inside. My wife would have liked to have bought it. It was for sale when we looked at it, but we weren't really in the market for a house, and we didn't. Frankly, the thought of trying to move out of our house, in which the family has been since 1939, is more than a little intimidating. There's so much stuff in it, and some of it goes back decades. The house itself will be 100 years old in 4 more years. It was built in 26. We'll have to have some kind of house centennial party. Autumnal in that direction as well. Alrighty, we will stop here. Thanks for walking with me, and I'll probably be back tomorrow.